American writer Edgar Allan Poe is one of the world's greatest crime and horror authors.
Edgar Allan Poe depicts a time of sorrow. Gothic literature all around high emotions and ill omens to be found. Motifs throughout his work make this theme of poetry smirk. Windows and doors is the idea we'll explore. Drop the beat. A repeated idea through multiple works, doors and windows, is harder than it looks. Windows represent seclusion from the world, while doors do that but a little bit more. Hiding from the pain and having a closed mind, the characters stay away from the openings to mankind. Darkened windows, high above, and thick iron doors that replace love. Gives the idea to not open up because Poe says it's just to disrupt. One will end up hurt, so it's better to hide behind closed windows and doors, unbreakable even if Superman tried. Seclusion allows for the destruction of fear and pain, but the mind turns happiness into paranoia that takes over the brain. In my opinion, hiding isn't the answer because everybody wants happiness and nobody wants pain, but you can't have a rainbow without a little rain. Overall, Poe wants to show the outside world should be feared, and seclusion behind doors and windows makes all problems clear. Once opened, bad will come in, an opening to the mind causes insanity and terror within. Now that the breakdown is over, we can get back in. The Raven is where I shall begin. A lonely man, waiting at a chamber door, waiting for his long-lost love named the Lord. Secluded to the world, without Lenore he is no more. Tapping, tapping, tapping on his chamber door. No one's allowed in, no one's allowed out. Lenore is the only one he thinks about. Trapped in sorrow, trapped in fear, the Raven is always near. The chamber door blocks out other pain. The fear of getting hurt again is driving him insane. Hiding in a chamber of thoughts means no opening up. The narrator uses the door to close himself up. Open here, I flung the shutter. Stepped a stately raven that made his stomach flutter. A beast upon the bust of his chamber door represents an ill omen, but nothing more. Once the window opens, the pain flies in, overtaking his body, creating hysteria within. The chamber door blocks out all realization, but when the window opens, the hurt compares to radiation. A tiny opening to the world brings self-torture and destruction, turning him merely into a shadow of corruption. Next is the fall of the House of the Usher, which is about a man who truly suffered. Mentally and physically secluded from society, he hid away due to anxiety. Mental illness took over, masking his true identity. He was unable to find serenity. A man and his sister, alone in a mansion without any light, made even the day seem like night. At so vast a distance from the blackened oak floor as to be altogether inaccessible, the windows were incomprehensible. The high windows represent the distance as the usher had from civilization, turning him into a mutation. Through the windows, one is solely able to see a certain view, no matter how hard it is to get to. This compares to the human eye, covered by a screen which only views things that are desired to be seen. Upon the vacant eye-like windows, the usher's views cannot be changed, much like the views of the windows can't be arranged. He desires seclusion, but doesn't like loneliness, a man conflicted, hoping for holiness. He is buried alive, much like Madeline. All access to the world is inaccessible, closed off by the doors of massive iron, hiding from the list of fears that keeps on getting higher. The weight of the door helps block out terror, but that can't stop mental error. A battle within starts to build up. The usher's mind is closing up. One cannot be protected from everything once the doors open up. Usher turned to nothing. The rushing gust, but then without those doors, left Usher saying nothing more. Madeline came in and killed her brother, along with all evil of mankind and no other. This is the last story. I can promise you that it's about a man and his black cat. Animal lover at heart, a man conflicted by disease, alcoholism, turned him into a monster indeed. He hung his cat in fear of its evil. Compared to a beast, the cat caused upheaval. One night the man was asleep when a fire roused and his house came down. The doors and windows are now gone, meaning revenge and evil would be put upon. The next day he came to look, when a cat appeared similar to the one's life he took. As if grave as bas relief upon the white surface, a figure of a gigantic cat. Left alone with no protection from windows and doors, the narrator stood thinking some more. Overcome with regret, the narrator felt a threat, a feeling open all evil to come in, presented a black that contained the devil within. A collapse of his protection creates a sense of no direction. Safety and seclusion surround the windows and doors, but now they are forgotten, which means the narrator needs a savior. The black cat created paranoia, so he tried to hide from this fear, but when his protection was gone, he was left alone in fear.
When you feel my heat, look into my eyes. It's where my demons hide. It's where my demons hide.
Windows and doors are simple indeed, but have a complex meaning, Poe pleads, representing seclusion overall, but there is a little more analysis involved. Poe wants to show that the world is cruel, and when one opens up, terror overrules.
Poetry is the rhythmical creation of beauty